Okay, kiddies, Dr. Freedom here with you. Time for some Doctor Who news. Well, I took last night off. I was just really beat. There wasn't really not much to talk about, so figured, what the hell, I got the podcast up, Game of Thrones. We had a blast with that. It was fun to record. There's just so many places and so many different, characters in Game of Thrones that we could have been there for a long, long time. But, we managed to clock it in just under an hour. Okay. Once again, a reminder, Omega Files this weekend will be Guardians of the Galaxy. There will be no Omega Files on July 4th. Went ahead and decided we're going to take that holiday off, celebrate our independence over here on this side of the pond. But, of course, remember that July 6th, we're going to be having a sit-down Q&A, me and three others with Sophie Aldred. And, hopefully her schedule holds up and that'll go through. Really looking forward to sitting down and talking to her again. Very, very, very nice lady. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Let's take a look at what's going on, what I do have. Oh, by the way, filming news. Heard there might be some live filming, location filming coming up later this week. If I hear anything more solid and definite on that, I'll pass it on to you. And of course, if there are any photos that pop up, I'll share them with you that night. But okay, let's get into what we do have. And this was an amusing thing that was put up by Sarah Dollard, one of the writers. She was amused at the fact she was tweeting a picture of this thing saying no tweeting. And they are very strict on this on the Doctor Who set down at Rothlock. If any of you remember, back when they were filming Journey to the Center of My Disappointment, the one guy had sat down and tweeted a picture of himself in his costume. And literally within like 10 minutes after that tweet went out, there were guys banging on his door and going off on him, shouting something about contract this, blah, blah, blah. Because they do watch the internet that close. So you got to watch out if you're working on Doctor Who. Don't be dumb and tweet something out, because otherwise you can get in some deep trouble. Okay. I'm sure they send him to the principal's office. I don't know. All right, moving on. Okay, now this one, I put it up here, Houston Press, our anniversary special's cursed. Okay, the problem is this. They're citing, of an imaginary curse. This is about as real as that curse of King Tut, folks. For one, William Hartnell was already in the advanced stages of arterial sclerosis, when he did Three Doctors. That's why he was sitting down in a black room and reading his lines literally off a card they had in front of him, because he could not hold lines in anymore, barely. It was affecting his brain, the hardening of the arteries. So that right there, that's bunk. Okay, and of course there was a Richard Hartnell, and the thing is, like I said, this is just a series of coincidences, folks. And of course now they're citing, of course, John Hurt, who plays the Puma Doctor, aka the War Doctor. And for you folks who don't know, Puma Doctor is a cute little little thing I invented to explain, that whole doctor pulled out of Moffat's ass, which, like I said, it's not an insulting thing. It's just simply the truth. They literally had to yank that out because Eccleston refused to come on for the 50th anniversary special. But it's still sad, and of course they're going with the doom and gloom route, saying that he's been diagnosed with the early stages of pancreatic cancer, of which somewhere in this article, I'm sorry, I had it up here a minute ago, that said it only has a 16% survival rate if detected early. There, folks. Oh, here it is. Now, pancreatic cancer is a tricky one. It is. It always has been. They have caught it early, and the thing of the matter is, there are alternative treatments to it that have been far more successful than the standard medical treatment. Hopefully, John Hurt will seek these out, because I've heard about these. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but I've heard about this. There's a clinic in the United States that has a very, very high survival rate, even for later stage pancreatic cancer patients. So there's always hope. Hopefully he'll have this done and he'll be fine. We can only pray for his full recovery. So I don't buy the anniversary specials cursed, but I'm going to leave it here for you to read, because there are some interesting facts in here. Some interesting stuff about some of the things that went on around that. And like I said, don't buy the curse thing. That's just what I'm just saying. It's not a King Tut thing. All right, but moving on before I start rambling, which I already did. Okay, Doctor Who, the brief cameos that are definitely canon. And this is a cute little article right here. Now, as I say, Canon is a tricky issue for Doctor Who fans. The problem is this: debating canon and continuity in Doctor Who is very, very tricky because there's so many weird things that go on, in Doctor Who, especially continuity wise. But okay, there was an appearance of the TARDIS in Fallout, Iron Sky, and they have nice clips here of it. Chelmsford 1, 2, 3, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but this was a red one. And also, this was a cut scene from Red Dwarf in which they had one of the little miniature TARDIS right here. You can just barely see it right here. I thought this one was just a fun one. So if you want to go take a look at it, they include the clips if you want to play them. I just think it's a playful one to take a look at. All right. This one, very, very interesting. This was up over on David Tennant News. Doctor Who team is joined by new guest names at the first ever Radio Times Festival. Okay, so we got RTD, Stephen Moffat, Peter Capaldi among the star speakers at the inaugural Radio Times Festival, a new arts and culture event taking place between the 24th and 27th of September at Hampton Court Palace. Now, a host of further sessions have been announced as tickets go on general sale, including Simon Guerrier. Is it Guerrier or is it Guerrier? Okay. And Dr. Merrick Kukula on the scientific secrets of Doctor Who. New events added to the festival are all right, here we go. Jenny Agutter, Sister Julia, who plays Sister Julianne, and a whole bunch of others. Like I said, there's a whole list of these. I'll leave it for you guys to read. Very sorry, I'm just running a little bit late tonight. Tickets go on general release sale to. They go on general release today. You can visit the RadioTimesFestival.com right here, or they have a phone number if you're over in the UK to go take a look at this, okay? All right, moving on forward over on Castorberus. Unit Extinction's impressive cast expands once more. Somebody actually told me, I can't remember if it was Doctor Whooniverse or anything like that apparently Nick Briggs let go in the latest Big Finish podcast that the Unit Extinction is going to take place after Era of the Zygons, which you all know as Day of the Doctor, and that's going to be a whole other subject, and before Dark Water, Death in Heaven. So that explains why Osgood's going to be involved in there. It's going to be the actual Osgood. All right. Okay. Okay, now, the audio company has announced some new stars, one of whom may be familiar face to Whovians, because for a while his name was rumored to be connected to the role of the 12th Doctor. Steve John Shepard will play Simon Devlin, the pioneer behind Future Tech, a technological giant that holds the key to the Nestine consciousness' latest plan at worldwide domination. Now, most will recognize Shepard from EastEnders, where he played Michael Moon. Now, quote, Steve was suggested us by his agent at the same moment as I was sending off an email to ask for him, said David Richardson. He was such a magnificent rich voice. He has such a magnificent rich voice. Sorry, my brain's running in 50 different places tonight. He makes Devlin a true power to be reckoned with. Of course, the Nestine will be played by Nick Briggs, who's basically the voice of just about every damn thing. And Devlin's aided by his security chief Jenna Gold, who will be played by Karina Fernandez, who Richardson calls an astonishing talent. Tracy Wiles plays journalist Jackie McGee, who gets right in the middle of all the action, while her put upon assistant Tim Stevens is played by Derek Carlisle. Like I said, it sounds like this is going to be pretty interesting. So I'm really looking forward to giving this one a listen. All right, jumping on over to the next one. Tennant, Capaldi, and Doctor Who are based back in the BBC. Now, move over Gallifrey, the thing. Sorry about that. My brain's running in 50 different directions tonight. Okay, broadcast backing the BBC petition has received hundreds of concerned signatures. Among them are some past and present Doctor Who cast and crew, including David Tennant himself, all signing in support of the famed public broadcaster of the BBC in light of the recent political pressure it's received from the reigning Conservative government. A quick flip through the petition found a number of familiar names. David Tennant, of course, signed the petition earlier this month, as well as the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, and they were joined by Who writers Chris Chibnall, Toby Whithouse, Peter Harness, and James Moran. Whithouse and Harness are set to return to Doctor Who this autumn, both having written 2 parts of stories for Series 9. Chris Chibnall, who wrote, of course, Hungry Earth, Cold Blood, Power 3, especially gave a passionate defense of the BBC in support of the petition's campaign. And here's his little speech right here he gives. Now, what's all the fuss about, you ask? Well, every 10 years, the BBC's own royal charter is reviewed by the government of the day, and the next review is set to take place in the year 2016, when the current charter will need to be renewed at the year's end. Now, the royal charter acts as sort of a quote-unquote constitution for the BBC, and it in turn serves as a delineation of its roles, responsibilities, editorial freedom, in addition to its revenue tools and executive structure. Now, BBC television is funded through a license fee, which is currently frozen at £145, and I believe that's yearly. So, it's nice to hear these guys are coming out and supporting the Beeb. Without the Beeb, there are many, I can't say that enough, programs that I would have never been exposed to. And I'm really hoping, things get a little bit better for them. All right, I hope that, they don't flush it down the tube, so to speak. All right. Next up and lastly for today, International Business Times, of course. Oh, sorry. I forgot to remark at the beginning. Yeah, we did get a teaser. But keep in mind, folks, it's just a teaser. It's just to say, okay, we're coming back this fall. Now, the latest projections I keep hearing from several different sites. Matter of fact, I think even Radio Scar or whatever. I'll hit the name will hit my brain about a half hour from See, it's gone. My brain's gone. All right, about a half hour after I'm done recording this, I'll remember. I think it was Radio Free Scar we even projected. It's probably going to be August 29th, which would be, of course, the last Saturday in August, which would follow normal patterns. But okay, Doctor Who Series 9 spoilers, and like I said, I don't know why they said that because I didn't really find any in this article, to be honest with you. Because basically it's stuff that's already been broadcast all over the media. But in case you want a refresher, here it is. So I figured I'd throw this in here in case there's a few things you want to catch up on, take a breather on, freshen up your minds on. But like I said, it's no big deal. There aren't any real spoilers in here. There's nothing in here we haven't already seen, so don't worry about it. But remember, one of the key things they tell you in here, Moffat is signed on to run Doctor Who for the next 5 seasons. So, give up on the Moffat hate, folks. He ain't going nowhere. Okay. And please don't count on a Doctor Who Sherlock crossover anytime soon. Now, here's the thing. There's certain shows I'd love to see crossed over, but crossovers can go wrong just as much as they go right. So, I just don't, I don't see it happening myself. Okay. So, we got a teaser trailer, but like I said, once again, it's a teaser. It's not meant to be, die hard, show you footage type thing. It's just meant to say, okay, the show's still here. We're going to be back. Now, there is word going around that there will be a full trailer coming soon. So, now that they got, let's see, it probably won't be until around Comic-Con, to be honest with you, because I'll have most of the stuff in the can by then. But we'll see. Sit down, relax. We'll find out in the near future. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here for my tongue rips out of my mouth and wraps around my head. So keep in mind, Omega Files this weekend is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. There's not going to be an Omega Files for July 4th. I've already decided I'm going to take that weekend off. I'm still debating on what we're going to do for the Omega Files the weekend after Guardians. Let's sit down and have a think on that. But other than that, everybody take care. Have a good one. Have a good night. I'm out of here. Hasta la vista.